Hey guys, Axis and Allies Militaria. So in this video, I want to cover the Afrikakorps Cufftitle and the Afrika Cufftitle. So I want to first talk about what the difference is and then how you can kind of get an idea of what's a real or a fake one. So let's first start off with the Afrikakorps Cufftitle. This cufftitle started being worn in July 18th, 1941, and all members of the Wehrmacht were eligible to receive it until about January 15th, 1943. Now, this cufftitle started about January 15th, 1943, and then it went until about October 31st, 1944. So this cufftitle, the Afrikakorps Cufftitle, this is a unit cufftitle. That means if you served with the Wehrmacht during World War II, you are eligible to wear it on your uniform. Now, not all soldiers or airmen actually wore it, but they were eligible to wear it. Now, I saw one piece of information that said you need to be served for at least 2 months, but I think that kind of went away. If you served with the Wehrmacht in North Africa, you were eligible to wear this. Now, this was worn either with the tan showing, but you also see period pictures of that part folded over, and then you would just see the silver color on top. All right, so now, like I said, there were no requirements. I saw one book said that you needed 2 months service. Now, this one was worn on your right lower sleeve of your arm. Now, this one, there were requirements. So this is a campaign. Means you had to meet certain requirements to be eligible to wear this one. Now, I like to compare it to the U.S. Army. The U.S. Army, if you were in a specific unit, that was on your left shoulder. Now, if you served in combat with that unit, then you would also be eligible to wear that on your right shoulder too. That means you served in combat with them. Now, if you changed units, well, the new unit would go on your left one, but the unit you served in combat with, the last unit you served in combat with, would go on your right shoulder. So that's just kind of an idea to compare these. Now, this one was worn on the lower left sleeve of your arm. Now, like I said, there were requirements. So the requirements were either 6 months of service, you were wounded in action, you were killed in action. But if you were killed in action, then your family would get the certificate award, but they would not get the Cufftitle. Or the time could go from 6 months to 2 months if you contracted a disease or became ill while serving in North Africa. The time requirement went from 6 months down to 4 months if you served in the last phase of the war. The time requirement was erased if you earned the Iron Cross, whether it was second class or first class. After October 31st, 1944, no more of these cuff titles were awarded unless you were a POW and returned home. Then you would get the cuff title and the certificate. Now, there were foreigners that served with the German army in North Africa, but they were not eligible to receive this cuff title. So again, unit cuff title, campaign cuff title. Now let's talk about how you can tell if this is an original or a fake. So first thing, the O. The middle part should have more of an oval shape. Now there have been some that were more circular, but a good general rule of thumb is if that middle part is more of an oval shape, then you're on the right track. The R and the P, the middle part right there, those should be different sizes. They should not be the same size and the same shape. The A and the F right at the bottom, it's hard to really see, but they don't actually connect. But if you start to see that A and the F really truly connect as far as the stitching, then again, it's a good chance that it's not original. Now, on the back, with all German stuff, especially awards, you need to look at the back to really get an idea. That'll tell you if it's real or fake. So this is the material on an original Afrikakorps Cufftitle. If yours looks a lot different than this, then it's probably not real. Now it kind of has a herringbone twill look to it. It's not herringbone twill material, but has a herringbone look to the shape. And then also, if you look at the letters, you can tell clearly what it says. It says Afrikakorps on it. So just go through it again. So the O, the middle part, should have an oval shape. The R and P, the middle, should not be the same size or same shape. The A and the F shouldn't really touch. I mean, you can't see it here, but it's clear. And on fake ones, you can really tell the difference. On the back, the material should look like this, and those letters should be distinctly different. All right, on this one, so this is a camel hair woven with cotton. So these trees, they should be mirror images of each other, both leaning in towards the letters. Now, each tree should have 5 palm leaves, 2 facing to the right, 2 to the left, and then 1 on top. Now, if you look here, there should be like a empty space or a void. It's hard to see here. In the middle of the palm leaves. They shouldn't just be one solid piece of embroidery. It should have like an empty space there. And the letters should have a certain flair. Now, there are specific dimensions for each letter. Obviously, this K is bigger than the F. I'm not going to go into that. You can look that up and you can see it. Oh, yeah. The piping and the letters should be a silverish gray. It should not be white. So if you find one that's white, that's not correct. It should be a silver gray color. Now, if you have a full-length one, now this one was cut off of a uniform, but if you have a full-length one, the end should be finished. Obviously, this one was cut even on both sides. So again, mirror images, empty space with the palm leaves, 5 palm leaves on each one. The piping and the letters should be a silverish gray, not a white color. It should have this texture of camel hair woven with cotton. And the ends should be, when finished, if it was a full-length one, it should be a finished look. But this one is a cut end, so you can't see it. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this video of the Afrikakorps Cufftitle and then the Africa Campaign Cufftitle.